All right, ladies and gentlemen, you are welcome to another great episode on your favorite political talk show, The Truth with Ben Jokes. Now, the heat is on as Nigerians, especially northern Nigerians, continue to talk tough regarding the upcoming protest. For the past 12 months, not a single day has passed without us discussing at least two of the issues prompting these agitations. If it is not insecurity, it is hunger and poverty or corruption in high places. But instead of addressing these major issues head on, the APC prefers to play tricks on the minds of Nigerians. But the potential protesters have easily dealt with all that the APC has thrown at them. Most notably is the failure of northern Muslim clerics to make northern youths give up this idea of a nationwide protest. Anyone who knows the North well knows that the region is controlled largely by Muslim clerics, the IMAMS and the ulamas. Even top northern politicians know that they have to be in the good books of these clerics because the clerics have a strong hold on the masses. But after receiving 16 million naira each from the APC government, these clerics this time around have tried, to convince northern youths not to protest. And as it stands, their words have fallen to the ground. They have failed woefully for the very first time. And this is so profound to the point that very educated members of the northern youth community who were strong APC supporters are the chief sponsors of this protest. One of them, the vice presidential candidate of the ADC, Ahmed Buhari, in a video, told anyone that cared to listen that northern Nigeria is fed up with the Tinubu regime and that the northern youths have turned their backs on the clerics and have told the imams, warning them against protest, to shut their mouths. Before I show you that video, let me quickly show you another trick by APC lawmakers trying to appease Nigerian youths. Look at how the papers reported it. Breaking: Nigeria's House of Rep members to donate half salary for 6 months to fight hunger. The House of Representatives has pledged to donate 50% of their salaries for 6 months to address the hunger across the country. This was made known at a plenary session presided over by the Speaker Tajuddin Abbas and Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu on Thursday. It was learnt that the Deputy Speaker Benjamin Kalu amended the motion urging his colleagues to sacrifice 50% of their salaries. This government is doing its best, but 1 year is not enough to address the challenges of the country. I want to plead with our colleagues to sacrifice 50% for a period of 6 months, the lawmaker was quoted. Reporters earlier reported how a popular pastor, Prophet Isa El-Buba, urged Nigerians to protest against the current government of Bola Tinubu if the current hardship persists for more than 1 week. You heard that. Now it is more than obvious that these lawmakers don't respect Nigerians at all, always trying to play a fast one on the people. First of all, we know that their major earnings is in their allowances, not in their salaries. But Nigerians have gone beyond that stage. What the people are talking about now is the fact that we don't even need an upper and lower chamber in the National Assembly. You are talking about slashing your salaries. Nigerians are saying half of you should not even be there. And the other half that will remain should be on minimum wage. Yes, those are the kind of demands I expect to see during the protest. And on the issue of slashing their salaries, Nigerians did not respond nicely at all. Let's take some of the tweet reactions. This tweet here by Davidi says, if they like, make them donate 12 months salary. This protest will go on. Anybody with a brain knows that they are doing all these things as emergency means to try to appease Nigerians so that there won't be protest. But people's minds are made up. And this tweet here by Alumona says, ha ha ha, all lies. They are doing everything to stop the upcoming protest. That is it. That is what they are doing. And Finfolua here says, script is just a script they are acting out. Abayomi says, to which account and who will monitor the payment? That is one big question. Who is going to monitor the payment? It is still going straight to their pockets, the same accounts that they have access to. And this tweet here by Kelvin says 50% of their salary is not up to 700,000. Where they milk the country is in their allowances. That is it. Every smart person knows that. And this tweet here by Ugochukwu says, another format. First, they shared rice. And now, reps to slash salaries by 50%. Fear of purported protest is real. That is what is happening. Trying to appease Nigerians not to protest. And Ayodeji Kayode here says, are they really afraid of the people? But Abacha replied, he said, if you believe this, then I have an airport to sell to you. Abacha is saying they are lying. They are never going to slash their salaries. And I believe this guy is saying the truth. Because whether they slash it or not, how are we even going to know? Where are they going to pay the money into? It's all a gimmick. Nigerians must put their foot further on this pedal and go out and massively protest. Point blank, period. Now, let us watch this video where the vice presidential candidate of the ADC, Ahmed Buhari, was telling Nigerians how northern Nigerian youths have turned their backs on their imams and ulamas and how set they are for a massive nationwide protest. See the video.
For the first time in a long time, northern Nigeria is actually, boiling and aggravating itself to want to strike. This is a region where it is very hard for people to go on a protest because they listen to religious leaders, they listen to traditional rulers, and for the first time they have actually turned their faces back to the religious leaders and say, shut your mouths up. You cannot tell me not to cry if I'm being beaten. You cannot tell me to take it easy if I'm still hungry. There is no plan as to how things are going to get better for me. And it's not like we don't have able-bodied men and women in northern Nigeria. But there are no jobs for them to even engage with, not to let alone get paid. I'm hearing all of the imams in the mosque trying to create a quotation from certain Quranic verses to calm the people down not to protest. And I'm saying that one of the clearest quotations I know from the Quran is that do not oppress and do not allow yourself to be oppressed. And if it gets to that point, you are allowed to now go out to fight for what belongs to you. So if we're having the conversation around all of that, I would like to think that, yes, there are lots of people in northern Nigeria that are trying to tame the angry populace to say, do not go this route. And so if you want to put it side by side Buhari's administration, back then, people were not paying this much for fuel. Back then, people were not this hungry. The insecurity that we're still talking about in Buhari's administration, we're still talking about it now in Tinubu's administration. Yesterday, people were stolen again from Zamfara, including babies.
About 150.
About 150 people. So you cannot fault the people if they're getting to a breaking point. And so what are we supposed to do? Are we supposed to be calling for calm, or are we supposed to be revisiting some of the policies and say maybe these policies are not working? Let us tweak them. I think that's what we should be talking about now as a government that is prepared to actually see how succor can come to the people. If it is fuel subsidy you want to talk about, if it is food subsidy you want to talk about, if it is policies around how you want to even distribute these palliatives that I do not know how long they're going to last. In 2024, we're still talking about going to give bags of rice to governors that will distribute to who?
You heard that. No matter how terrible the situation is, they have no other solution to offer than to start sharing food, to start sharing palliatives in 2024, when other countries of the world are thinking forward. And I know this is not just about the fact that they lack ideas. This is pure wickedness. Because when they want to proffer solutions to their own problems, even the ones they lied about, artificial problems they created for themselves, they go for state-of-the-art solutions. They know what to do. When they saw that Nigerian roads were a menace, a death trap, they began buying SUVs for themselves. Why didn't they go for Toyota Corolla LE, that Uber own, or Mazda 626? So they are not fools. They know exactly what to do for themselves. But when it comes to the people, they will start acting as if they are naive or they have a cake mentality. If not everything, at least they know how to solve 25% of the people's problems. They don't just want to do it. They will never do it. Why? Because they are plain wicked. It is as simple as that. When they see that the masses are moving to liberate themselves, they will start trying to bribe the leaders of that movement. There was nothing they did not do. There was nothing they did not offer Peter Obi to step down from the last elections. Oil wells, percentage stake in our commonwealth, name it. But the man rejected everything because he was not there for the money. He wanted to help the nation. The hold that the political class has on the people of this country, is one that the people can only break with red eyes. It is going to take serious fight to take this country back. And in this fight, once the people are divided, they can never win. I don't mean that every single Nigerian would have to reject the APC. That's not what I'm saying. But at least 85% must reject them. And if we are being honest, what has the APC even done? To earn the support of 15% of the masses of this country? There's nothing they have done. If not because some people have decided to just remain stupid, we should be talking about over 90% of Nigerians rejecting these guys. But with the number that I mentioned, I tell you, even with all the money and all the power, they will not be able to force themselves on Nigerians. And this is what Nigerians must do to take their country back. How do we achieve it? Cast aside our sentiments, come together, put our foot down, and say this nonsense must stop. But until then, make I still enter town. Make I go get some ogbonge political news wey una go like. Why? Because of una. Now I dey here, so don't go away. Don't